Our next big celebration, and I'm talking to this one because I think I'm in the privileged position of knowing more about our brother John than almost anybody apart from Christine, who's been by his side for over 50 years, 53 years? Well, 53 years they've been married. 55. Whoa, is it 55?
We've known each other.
You've known each other for 55. So, you know, Pete was talking about the importance of writing down your story. Well, in November, I went and visited John and Christine, and they very kindly put me up, and we had a lovely afternoon together. And I said to John, you know, John's coming up to, I knew last September was 50 years since they both qualified as medics. 50 years, and John was still working. I know Not and Bells, Ray always says, you Not and Bells, you know, and work. You know, there's a strange relationship there between Not and Bells and work. Like, they want to do it, and they want to keep doing it, and they never ever give up. I said to John, have you written your story? And he said, I've written some stories about Bindura, about our time in Bindura when he and Christine went on their first post-registration posting and ran a regional hospital. But I said, you know, we need to just write down the chronology, just quickly tell me. If you just broad brush the dates for me, and both John and Christine quickly did that for me in half an hour. I said, I'll type it up, send it back to you to fill in the bits. So that started the idea, and lots of people here have contributed to a book that we've created to celebrate John's and Christine's 50 years of medical practice. What a handsome boy.
Oh,
hey?
yeah. Doesn't look like anyone else.
Do you recognise Henry? Do you recognise your handsome granddad? Very nice. Yeah, actually, you're very like him. So this started the idea. So John has written up his story, 50 years of my 50 years of doctoring. I'm going to be sending this out electronically to all of you. They're just 2 hard copies. You must read it. The stories in here are amazing. We've also got John's stories from Bindura, when there's one, there are about 10 amazing stories, one of which John had done his back in, and he was unable to operate. Christine was working in anaesthetics and outpatients. Was it outpatients? Yes. John was doing surgery, completely untrained, but having a good for a lot of people, it was have a go with, you know, let John have a go or you are dead. And in fact, saved hundreds of lives there. But there was a case where John had done his back in and somebody needed urgent surgery and he couldn't move. So what he did was do the anaesthetic, administer the anaesthetic from a chair, and instructed Christine on how to do the C-section.
What he told me to was, I will get up out of this chair and do the Caesar.
Yes.
And you just do the anaesthetic. So I was doing the anaesthetic, and I said, you can start. And he said, no, I can't get up out of the chair.
No option.
So then John did the anaesthetic, Christine did it, the child and the mother survived, and still...
I'm always the default position.
Oh, you're the default. To me, it's just simple, great. Then Maggie and I, and William actually, had the privilege of going to John's retirement celebration at the hospital. It was an amazing occasion. None of the red carpet stuffy, you know, CEOs come in and pontificate, and actually they don't know you that well. John invited all his colleagues between 1 and 4 to come. We all brought a plate of food. I looked at it and I thought, that there's too much food, but I tell you, those people who work in A&E
are hungry.
They're hungry. bloody hard, and they actually consumed the award. But what was lovely was John paid, you know, with his usual generous spirit, paid tribute to the people he worked with. It was amazingly moving. And I heard, you know, like a lot of West Indians do a refrain. When somebody's talking, they'll go, Amen, or they echo what you say. Do you know, during John's leaving speech to his colleagues, I can't tell you how many times Maggie and I heard people saying, and they were from all over the world. They were Africans, Filipinos, they were people from every, you know, there were Romanian people, nurses, doctors from Egypt. We heard so many times, we love you, JK. Get that at work, you know, where a boss, a senior person, people go, we love you. It was a beautiful, beautiful occasion. The last day that John worked was also, he had been nominated for a Lifetime Achievement Award by the Trust. Richard scrubbed up, William scrubbed up. There are lovely pictures in here of them in their Christine looked like Princess something, Queen something or other. I mean, have you ever seen such a scrubbed up lot? Awarded the Staff Excellence Award winner 2009 for Lifetime Achievement. How appropriate is that? But the bit I love best in the book are the two sections. The first was John, in the words of his classmates, colleagues and friends, and we managed to track down people from the original cohort of medical students who were the first in Zimbabwe. We've got 8 contributions from them, remembering John, but also Christine, because she's absolutely woven in there, about what they were like as students. And just the headlines on some of those, people from that medical school.
Christine's already
somebody referred to them, John, as our own personalised Wikipedia. The brainy person in our class, the brightest amongst us, considerate, level-headed, gentle, supportive. John 1, Tank Naught, you'll understand that when you read it. And this I thought was so right, a remarkable ability to simplify. A sane and relaxed response to setbacks. Amazing quality. From Gwello Hospital, we had Matt Oliver, who I think William and Richard may remember. Clear thinking, no-nonsense, innovator and lateral thinker. We owe him our lives. From Bandura, compassionate and caring. From Dudley Road Hospital, where he did his surgical training, making waves. From Grooterschuur Hospital in Cape Town, clearly in charge, approachable and kind, a highly regarded teacher. Then the best bit was the family contributions. Because all the brothers and sisters, I say, my heading was 24/7, 365. Because although he's retired from his official position, actually he'll never be off the hook as family. And we've got tributes that, you know, we've got tributes from Richard about how much he's learned from his dad, about being a dad and a professional and finding time for your own children's education and care. Richard wrote, my brother John, beloved physician and surgeon. We've got contributions from all of us about what a great thing you have been to us. Not only as a brother, but as our own personal doctor. And again, Christine's been there. My story is, you know, when Ray was more or less really ill and obstinately refusing. And he actually had pneumonia, but we didn't know it. John and Christine got in the car at 10 o'clock at night, drove up the motorway. John and Christine came in. I couldn't even offer them any food, raging temperature. And they said he's got pneumonia, and they treated him then and there. So, you know, some fantastic stories. John, we've left pages at the back, blank, because actually some tributes came in after we went to publication, and I'm sure tributes will continue to come in. But we just think you're an absolute star. Christine as well, you're a big part of this equation.